This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
One person rushed to the hospital following a shooting on the city's east side. Breaking now at 6 o'clock. What police say led up to that gunfire.
Plus, are you registered to vote for next month's elections? This morning, our Kelsey Anderson is breaking down how long you have to get registered.
Plus, Colts fans waking up with a smile this morning. We're breaking down the Horseshoes' big win in Kansas City. Here at 6 o'clock, first thing, we want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Alyssa Donovan here with us this morning. And Alyssa, finally, we are full speed into fall.
It's here.
No more temps in the 90s. Those are long gone.
Those are gone.
But we're going to feel a chill later this week.
It's going to feel a little bit chilly by Saturday. Those highs are going to look more like our morning lows this morning. So once again, we are starting a little bit warmer this morning, but then we are going to average out as we head through about midweek. 54 right now in Indianapolis. We'll see those temperatures drop a couple degrees yet this morning. So as you head out the door, likely will be right around 52 degrees. And it's a little bit muggy outside, a little bit of that humidity hanging around from that system that moved through yesterday. We do have a few lingering stray showers to the south of us as well, just along I-65 to the south of Seymour this morning, but that is dissipating quickly. We will not see that into central Indiana. That system is moving out, and then high pressure is building in today. That is going to be in control for the first half of the week, taking our temperatures up right where they should be this time of year and bringing us plenty of sunshine. So the first half of the day, we are in the 50s this morning, and then we'll climb into the mid-60s by the noon hour.
Alyssa, thank you so much. We are still monitoring that issue up in Carmel, an overturned semi, and our crew is there at the scene giving you these live pictures at the cleanup efforts. You can see the semi here still on its side, and it looks like they're working to remove some contents from inside the trailer. We'll continue to monitor this, but it is blocking the right lane of northbound US 31. Let's take a look right now at our traffic now map. This is the area we're talking about, sort of near Rangeline Road and Keystone Avenue. Give yourself extra time as you travel by slowly in the left lane. Well, right now, a deadly crash on I-70 out in Clay County could cause you some problems if you plan to head west this morning. This is the scene near the Brazil exit, State Road 59. We're told the crash involves two semis and two other commercial vehicles. We can tell you at least one person has died in this pileup. The crash happened around 2 o'clock this morning, and INDOT reports that both the westbound lanes will remain closed for at least another hour or so as crews work to determine what happened.
One person is recovering this morning following a shooting on the city's east side. It happened on Balboa Court near 42nd and Post Road. Authorities tell us they responded to a shots fired call, and when they arrived, they found a man sitting in the driver's seat with a gunshot wound. Police say the car was shot multiple times. The victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. No word this morning on if police are still searching for a suspect.
Okay, so did you stay up late last night and watch the big game? Unfortunately, I know neither of us could.
We were fast asleep, and if you're like us and you didn't, we can tell you your Indianapolis Colts pulled off a big win on Sunday Night Football. It was a huge matchup for the Colts against the undefeated Chiefs out in Kansas City. The odds seem stacked against the Colts with three defensive players, including Darius Leonard, out for the game. But that didn't stop the Colts from delivering a masterful defensive performance, holding the Chiefs to just a touchdown and 2 field goals. The offense was able to do just enough, including 4 field goals from Adam Vinatieri. The final score 19-13. And here's what Coach Frank Reich had to say about the game.
Okay, wow, what a great win. What we said in there in that locker room was the one emotion that we were not feeling was shock. I can't even explain it.
You know, it was awesome to be able to come out here and in a place like this against a team like that. It took a total team effort today.
The Colts have the week off before facing the Texans.
Time right now is 6:04 on to the Democracy 2019 front. Today marks the last day to register to vote for this year's elections. Our own Kelsey Anderson joining us live this morning with what you need to know if you're planning to cast a ballot on November the 5th. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, so if you haven't registered to vote yet, you have until today at the end of the business at the end of the business day. You can go to indianavotes.com to see if you're registered or register. To vote in Indiana, you must be a U.S. citizen over the age of 18, lived in your home for at least 30 days, and have an Indiana driver's license. Another thing you can see on indianavoters.com is who is on your ballot. There are some big races coming up next month, but the biggest by far in Indianapolis is the race for mayor, as current Mayor Joe Hogsett goes up against challenger Jim Merritt. Now, when you do head to the polls on November 5th, don't forget the voter ID law. You're going to need a photo ID that's issued by the state or the U.S. government with your name on it to vote. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. Interim Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears will start the week as Marion County's next prosecutor. Mears was elected as prosecutor on Saturday by the Marion County Democratic Caucus. The vote follows the resignation of Marion County Prosecutor Terry Curry last month. Of the 376 eligible precinct committee chairs and vice chairs, 305 cast ballots. Mears was up against Tim Moriarty for the position.
I think there's a lot of people who are invested in this process, and I think it underscores the importance of this job and the ability that this job can have on the community in terms of hopefully having a positive impact on people's lives.
Mears has made headlines recently following his decision to no longer prosecute simple marijuana cases. The prosecutor says he isn't sure whether or not it impacted the voters' decisions, but he hopes it sends a clear message that he is independent and will do, quote, the right thing under the circumstances. He says his focus will be on drawing a hard line in the sand when it comes to violent crime.
A debate over new cell phone towers that could pop up in your neighborhood will be discussed at tonight's Carmel City Council meeting. Wireless companies are installing small cell towers for 5G technology. Call 6 Investigates found there's a push to stop this from happening up in Carmel. Last month, the president of the Carmel Cable and Telecommunications Commission sent a memo to the city council highlighting the Health and Human Services study that found that cell signals led to cancer in rats. Gail Thomas is one of many residents concerned about the towers.
The idea is to just make sure that we're not taking this involuntary unknown risk and putting it right next to our bedrooms and our backyards and where we have our, get-togethers without knowing more information, without having the science be settled a little bit more.
Verizon directed us to CTIA, a group representing the wireless communications industry. Their website says typical exposure to 5G is comparable to Bluetooth devices and baby monitors. Tonight's meeting starts at 6 o'clock at City Hall.
1 year has passed since a man was hit and killed by a car in Muncie, and this morning police are still asking for help solving the case. Joe Minor would have turned 28 years old this weekend. Muncie police say he was hit by a car just after midnight on October 5th of last year near the Colonial Crest Apartments. Almost an hour and a half later, someone found him laying on the side of Morrison Road, and he was rushed to the hospital. Minor died a short time later on his 27th birthday. Police were able to recover surveillance video, but they are still looking for a smaller, boxy SUV with damage on the right side seen leaving the area of the crash. If you have any information, please call Muncie Police.
We're learning more about a deadly plane crash. This one happened near Kokomo Saturday evening. The Howard County coroner confirms that Dr. Daniel Greenwald of Tampa, Florida was the pilot. The crash happened around 5 o'clock Saturday at the corner of State Road 22 and County Road 300 East. Greenwald was flying the twin-engine plane when it went down into a soybean field. The FAA and the NTSB are now investigating to determine why that plane crashed.
Students will return to 2 Northwest Indiana schools this morning after a district employee tested positive for Legionnaire's disease. Duneland School Corporation officials in Porter County closed an elementary school and a middle school after Legionella bacteria was found. School officials say the impacted schools have been cleaned and they've been deemed safe for students to return. You can catch Legionnaire's disease by breathing in mist or vapor infected with the Legionella bacteria. Legionnaire's disease often has pneumonia-type symptoms.
Vincennes University is preparing students now for a revolution in the state's ag industry. I'm Amanda Starrentino, and I will show you the brand new facility that's creating the next generation of Hoosier agriculture.
And we have a mild start today. Those temperatures starting in the 50s this morning, just a little bit above average. Some humidity outside, and then we are seeing some changes later today. Plenty of sunshine and dry conditions on the way. Back into the 50s with our daytime highs later this week. I'll break down all the details coming up.
Shine brighter than you ever thought possible.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 6:12 on your Monday, and here's a live look at a semi crash here, an overturned semi, as you can see in Carmel. This is the farther back look, and we're zooming in here on the semi that's still on its side, and crews are working to clear the scene right now. This is blocking the right northbound lane of US 31 near Rangeline Road. You can get by in the left lane, but it is moving pretty slowly this morning, as you can see there on the right side of your screen. So we'll continue to monitor this. Our photographer Eldon Wheeler is at the scene giving us these live pictures. We'll continue to check in with him and let you know when everything is back open. Hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's commitment to connect you to education that benefits our state's workforce.
As agriculture evolves rapidly to meet the changing needs of consumers, Vincennes University is ramping up their ag programs with a massive new center for students.
Amanda Starantino gives us a look inside the university's new agriculture center and shows us how Hoosier students can really benefit from these courses.
In southern Indiana, Vincennes University is proud to open their doors to their new agricultural center, which will house a collaboration of innovation for the future of Indiana's agriculture industry.
We've got people coming and asking to say, hey, do you have any graduates? We need workers.
You might want to turn it over to the other side.
Susan Brocksmith is the agribusiness program chair at Vincennes.
We're seeing more jobs needed in the agricultural industries when you consider 1 out of every 5 workers is working in agriculture in some way, whether you're talking the food industry, the trade industry, or just getting things done in that. So we're seeing that as far as continuing to move forward, and the specialty areas.
This is measuring the amount of nitrogen in the leaf.
She is looking forward to preparing her students here in this new learning facility.
Wanted to bring all our ag programs together, as well as get our cutting-edge technology up to date so students getting out can be employed and have those latest skills they need.
This new facility is housing 5 agriculture programs at Vincennes University, one of them being the John Deere Agriculture Tech Program, which is only one of 16 in the U.S., exposing students now to the exact tools they will be using in the workforce. Every year, the university has about 150 students that come here to learn the latest technology. The next generation of agriculture professionals are preparing in the classrooms and fields now for the challenges posed by climate change, an uncertain economy, increased use of automation and technology, and a massive transfer of land and resources from the baby boomer generation.
We're seeing that we've got to increase the students because we need them in industry to do the functions with the technology that we're going to be able to offer that's going to help us even more.
This professor of agribusiness says although technology is removing certain jobs from the industry, it is also creating many new jobs for the future that are going unfilled.
Even though computers and the technology is there, we have to have the people that can help us with that technology, because it's such a vast array that we need more people to help, even though, like you said, the industry is stable, but we need more workers.
Amanda, thank you for that report. We do want to talk about the new agriculture center at Vincennes that is along US 41.
Students will also have access to cutting-edge laboratories, Purdue's food safety hub, a greenhouse, and bee colonies. To learn more about the agriculture program at Vincennes, you can head to hiringhoosiers.com. All right, Alyssa, well, you have no rain in the forecast until this weekend, something we know farmers are very much in need of right now.
That's right. We've been talking about it all morning. September was a very dry month. It was the 3rd driest September on record. We did receive some rain yesterday, just about a 1/4 inch here in Indianapolis. We do need quite a bit more, and we have that potential as we head through the 7-day forecast. But the first half of the week, we are starting very dry. We are a little humid this morning, but that's already dropping off. We've seen that humidity drop way off in just the past 2 hours here, and we'll continue to see that dry up as we head into the afternoon. 54 this morning. Those winds out of the northwest about 9 miles per hour. Those northerly winds helping usher in some of that drier air. So what's going on right now is we just have have a few stray showers to the south of us, just to the extreme south of Seymour this morning. That's just some lingering stray showers from that system that moved through yesterday, that cold front that brought us all of that rain. That's going to continue to push out, and next high pressure is going to be in control, and that's going to stick with us today, tomorrow, and into Wednesday, which means we're going to see plenty of sunshine. Overnight lows will be into the 40s because we won't have those clouds to insulate us from that cool, dry air overnight, and then during the day we will warm up very quickly because of that high pressure. Plenty of sunshine, which means that daytime heating is going to happen very quickly. So today we'll be into the low 70s, tomorrow a little bit warmer, and then into the upper 70s by Thursday. But what's happening at the same time is just off to our west, we have this low pressure system that's developing in Montana. That's going to bring some winter storm warnings there early this week, and then that system is going to push across Indiana later this week, Friday and into Saturday. By that time it has intensified, which means we do have the potential of quite a bit of rainfall and the possibility of some strong thunderstorms moving through as well. Again, that's Friday night and into the early day on Saturday. Looks like Saturday night we will see that clear out, but we do have the potential of seeing quite a bit of rainfall, which is much needed. Behind this, much cooler air mass will be in place by Saturday. Look at this, temperatures down into the 50s for our daytime highs. So a huge change with those temperatures just in the past couple weeks. Last week we started in the 90s. We are ending this week in the 50s for those daytime highs, and that's where we're starting this morning. 54 degrees at 8 a.m., 70 degrees for our high, mostly sunny skies. Taking a look at that 7-day, you can see those temperatures climb just a little bit each day until Thursday, and then we have that system approach Friday. That'll bring us that potential of showers and storms into Saturday. Saturday, 58 degrees for the high.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. We do want to take a live look right now from our photographer, Eldon Wheeler, where you can see here in Carmel, they have just uprighted that semi that was on its side. This is the northbound right lane of US 31 near Rangeline Road, and you can see the semi there on your screen. So luckily that is back on its wheels, because that means hopefully we'll get this out of the travel lanes and open this back up to drivers as we get closer to the rush hour this morning. Right now you still can get by in the left lane, but use caution because you can see it is a busy scene and crews are out there working at this hour. Let's take a look at our map right now and we'll show you where this is at. Again, it's right here, northbound lanes of US 31 at Rangeline Road, right by Keystone Avenue. So just take it slow as you travel through that area. We do have another crash to tell you about, though. This one was a deadly crash out in I-70 in Clay County. That's to our west. Could it still cause you problems if you plan to head west this morning? This is the scene near the Brazil exit, State Road 59. We're told the crash involves 2 semis, 2 other commercial vehicles, and at least 1 person died in the pileup. The crash happened around 2 o'clock this morning. INDOT reports that both westbound lanes may remain closed for another 2 hours or so as officials there are working to determine exactly what happened.
This morning, 5 people are recovering after an explosion at an Oktoberfest celebration in California. The explosions happened at the Old World restaurant in Huntington Beach. 4 people, including 2 firefighters, were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. A 5th person remains in the hospital this morning with severe injuries. Authorities say the explosions happened in an underground electrical vault.
We were standing in line waiting to get in, and there was like a ball of flame that came up, and we thought it was like maybe part of the show, but then there was another one, and then my friend grabbed my hand and we just started running, and then there was a 3rd one. So we just thought the whole place was going to be on fire.
Authorities say people inside the festival reported smelling gas prior to the explosions. The investigation into exactly what caused the fire and explosion continues this morning.
Well, this morning, Kansas City police in Kansas City, Kansas, they're still trying to figure out one of the people in connection to a bar shooting in the area. That shooting actually killed 4 people and injured 5 others at Tequila KC. Authorities believe the suspects were in a fight at the bar earlier in that evening. Overnight, police released that they found one of the suspects. So far, officials there have not released the names of the 4 people who were killed. Officials say all 4 of the deceased are Hispanic men, but it does not appear to be a racially motivated incident. Friends Alfredo Calderon said that he was among those shot and killed and that he visited that bar often.
They were just hanging out, just hanging out. And it seems you can't even do that anymore.
Police say 40 people were inside the bar at the time of that shooting.
A family's dog is happy, healthy, and a long way from home. Ahead in our Trending 6, how she was eventually found states away.
Prices. at Ross. Yes for less.
Before you head out the door, it's time for the Trending 6.
These are some of the stories that everyone is sharing online today that you'll want to know about.
Wendy's is taking its fight against frozen beef to another level. The fast food chain just released a new game called Feast of Legends. Wendy's describes it as a tabletop role-playing game similar to the popular Dungeons & Dragons game. The game is currently available on feastoflegends.com.
A hungry firefighter's mistaken order turned into a viral Pay It Forward campaign. It started with a Canadian Fire Department's pizza order. Firefighters thought they were ordering from the local joint. Well, turns out they had mistakenly called Alamos Pizza in San Antonio, Texas, 2,300 miles away. They decided to pay it forward, donating the $300 order to the local fire stations in San Antonio. The lucky Texans shared the photos of themselves enjoying the free pizzas, and now it's becoming an international Pay It Forward campaign. The hashtag Random Acts of Pizza is trending on Twitter.
The force is strong with this new line of bakeware from a French company. La Creuset is introducing mini cocottes designed as the droids R2-D2, C-3PO, and BB-8. La Creuset is releasing the limited edition collection on November 1st exclusively at select stores and online. Pieces range in price from $20 to $450. Okay.
All right. Well, the International Space Station is gearing up for a record number of spacewalks this year. The first of 5 spacewalks happened with NASA astronauts Christina Koch and Andrew Morgan. Koch reached the 200-day milestone Friday in her extended mission aboard the space station. She'll stay in space for more than 300 days, setting a record for the longest single space flight by a woman.
Hunger Games fans rejoice. A new novel is coming your way soon. The book will be called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It's set 64 years before tributes were chosen for the 10th Hunger Games in the first book. Lionsgate, which made the movie, says it's working on a movie based on the new novel. The book will be released in the U.S. this coming May.
Ooh. Well, meet Annie the dog. She's happy, healthy, and 700 miles away from home. Oh, and her name's actually Bella. The college student named her Annie when she found her while walking home in New Mexico. He fostered her for about 6 weeks and then eventually got her checked out at the Dog Expo. Someone there scanned her microchip and discovered, well, her real name and her home, which is near Los Angeles. Bella's owners say that they can't believe she wandered all the way to New Mexico. I wonder if she hitchhiked.
Yeah.
A little ride down there, possibly.
It's my guess is that someone gave her a spot in the front seat. Yeah, she looks like a good companion.
Yeah, I'm glad
Might
that
get a little fur all over your car.
All right, as you're heading out today, maybe taking the dog for a walk, it's going to be pretty comfortable, Alyssa.
It's going to be a nice day. We are starting a little muggy this morning, but that humidity is clearing out quickly. Temperatures will climb into the 70s this afternoon. You're going to see cloud coverage this morning. That's clearing out later today. Sunny skies, and that is sticking with us Tuesday and Wednesday, most of Thursday, when we climb almost into the low 80s again before we see the potential of showers and storms back in the forecast Friday and Saturday. Look at that. By Saturday, 58 degrees for the high. That's going to be our coolest air mass in place this season. So we are seeing a huge change in those temperatures as we head through the week.
Alyssa, thank you. A school parking lot being used for some dangerous stunt driving. Ahead on Good Morning Indiana, what neighbors want done to stop the dangerous driving.
And we're keeping a close eye on your morning commute. Here's a live look from I-70 and West Street near the downtown area. You can see traffic is picking up, traveling up to speed both eastbound and westbound at this early hour. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break with more news, weather, and traffic to start your Monday.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Breaking overnight gunfire on the east side sends a person to the hospital. We are working for you this morning to find out what led to that area's latest shooting.
I'm Kelsey Anderson, live in Indianapolis, and today is the last day to register to vote in the upcoming election. I have what you need to know coming up.
And neighbors concerned after cars have been drag racing in a school parking lot. Our Graham Hunter takes a look at how they're trying to put a stop to it. Here at 6:30, it is Monday morning. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Warren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Alyssa Donovan joining us this week. Well, Todd Clausen enjoys some much-deserved time off. And you've got some fall-like weather to tell us about this week.
Yeah, he's enjoying the beach, and we are finally seeing fall. So he's seeing some of those temperatures we saw last week. Well, we're finally seeing that change. It's going to be in the low 70s today. That's where we should be this time of year. A welcome change. Starting in the 50s this morning, 54 in Indianapolis. You can see to the northwest that we do have some cooler temperatures coming in. That's just because of that high pressure that's starting to build in, taking our temperatures down this morning for areas to the northwest. Here in Indianapolis, starting just a little bit muggy. Some of that humidity still in the forecast this morning from that moisture that moved through yesterday, but that is going to quickly die off. So here's that cold front that moved through. That brought us just about a quarter inch of rainfall yesterday. We still need quite a bit more. We are still very dry for the season, and we are not going to see it until the end of the week. High pressure is in control right now. That's sticking with us until midweek. Temperatures today will climb into the mid-60s by the noon hour. If you are thinking to go to lunch, today is going to be a beautiful day to get out there and enjoy this nice weather. Temperatures will be into the mid-60s by the noon hour.
Alyssa, thank you so much. We are keeping a close eye on traffic as you're heading out the door to start your Monday. This is I-70 and West Street near the downtown area. Traffic here is traveling along just fine this morning. And good news for all drivers who may have noticed that I-65 closure through the downtown area over the weekend, that it's all back open for your commute this morning. We do want to talk about a deadly crash, though. This one's on I-70 out in Clay County. It could cause you some problems this morning if you plan to head way to the west. This is a scene near Brazil exit there, State Road 59. We're told that the crash involved 2 semis and 2 other commercial vehicles, and we can tell you at least 1 person has died in the pileup. The crash happened around 2 o'clock this morning, and INDOT is reporting that both westbound lanes may remain closed for another hour or so as officials work to determine what exactly happened here.
Breaking overnight, 1 person is in the hospital this morning following a shooting on the city's east side. It happened on Balboa Court near 42nd and Post Road. Police tell us they responded to a shots fired call, and when they arrived, they found a man sitting in the driver's seat of a car with a gunshot wound. Police say the car had also been shot multiple times. The victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. No word this morning on if police are looking for a suspect. Family and friends came together to honor a man killed this weekend in a home invasion robbery.
Family members confirmed to RTV6 that Michael Zenick was the victim who was shot and killed along Edgemont Avenue. It happened just after midnight Saturday. At last night's vigil, there were several posters with pictures of Zenick, plus a number of messages in his memory. Police have not released much information yet about this case, but if you have any information about who may have shot Zenick, please call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS.
Police have made an arrest after 5 people were shot outside of an American Legion post in Evansville. 37-year-old Kimo Johnson is now in jail facing multiple charges. Investigators were told Johnson had been in a fight with one of the victims inside the Legion and was told to leave. The other person involved walked outside with a group when witnesses say Johnson began shooting at them. 3 people were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. 2 others suffered minor injuries. Johnson was quickly taken into custody and is being held on multiple charges.
It's 6:34. Today is the first official workday for the new Marion County prosecutor. Ryan Mears was narrowly elected by the Marion County Democratic Party caucus over the weekend. It was a tight race as the former top deputy to ex-prosecutor Terry Curry faced Tim Moriarty, the special counsel to Mayor Joe Hogsett. Moriarty had the backing of Hogsett, Congressman Andre Carson, and several members of the city county council, but Mears had the endorsement of his former boss. He ended up getting 157 votes from the caucus goers to 147 for Moriarty.
I think there's a lot of people who are invested in this process, and I think it underscores the importance of this job and the ability that this job can have on the community in terms of hopefully having a positive impact on people's lives.
Mears made the news after he was named interim prosecutor, saying his office would no longer prosecute simple marijuana cases. He says his focus will be on taking a tough stance on violent crime.
We are less than a month away from municipal elections, and if you want to cast your vote, you better make sure you're registered. Today is the last day to register to vote for this year's elections. And our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with what you need to know if you are hoping to cast your ballot on November 5th or when early voting starts as soon as tomorrow, Kelsey.
Yeah, good morning. So, yeah, you have until today. Today is the last day to register to vote, and that's the end of business hours today. You can also vote if you don't want to go to your county building to indianavotes.com. You can register to vote there, but you can also double check to see if you're registered to vote. So to vote in Indiana, you must be a U.S. citizen over the age of 18 and lived in your house for at least 30 days and have an Indiana driver's license. Another thing you can see on indianavoters.com is who is on your ballot. Now, there are some big races coming up next month, but the biggest by far in Indianapolis is the race for mayor, as current Mayor Joe Hogsett goes up against challenger Jim Merritt. When we head to the polls on November 5th, or when you head to the polls for early voting, you need to remember the voter ID law. That means you need to have a photo ID that's either state or U.S. government issued with your name and address on it. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Kelsey. Well, the plans to dig up the remains of 1930s gangster John Dillinger at Crown Hill Cemetery is actually back on. The Indiana State Health Department has approved a new permit to exhume Dillinger's body. The entire process is approved to happen on December 31st. The exhumation was originally scheduled in August as part of a History Channel documentary. The cemetery is still fighting the plan, and the History Channel says it pulled out of the project. The man who says he's related to Dillinger says that he believes a conspiracy theory that the FBI killed someone else in 1934 and falsely claimed that it was Dillinger. Well, somebody is using a Southside Elementary School parking lot as their own personal drag strip, and now neighbors there are trying to put a stop to it.
Only on RTV6, Graham Hunter has the video you have to see, and he's talking to neighbors who say there's a simple solution.
I heard squealing tires, and it just continued and continued.
This video you're watching might look like it came from the local racetrack.
So I went to my patio door.
But it happened right behind a Perry Township woman's home.
Saw this white car and a black car doing circles in the school parking lot.
The back lot of Rosa Parks Elementary School.
And it sounded like there were people cheering.
The woman we spoke to asked not to be identified out of concern the drivers might retaliate. She says it's not the first time this has happened.
7 or 8 times during the summer that I've actually looked out.
The parking lot is just feet away from the backyards of several homes, including hers.
My main concern is my grandchildren.
We saw kids playing all around the neighborhood and in the parking lot and on the playground at the school.
There's children that ride skateboards and their bicycles after hours, and that seems like when they start to do their drag racing, they go in sharp circles, so it's continuous squealing.
You can still see the skid marks left behind by the drivers.
I would think that the school officials would be concerned about them losing control and running into the school building.
There is a gate at the entrance to the parking lot that neighbors tell us is usually left open.
It looks to appear that there is a gate that they could put down where it keeps cars from going in there, and it would certainly reduce the risk, I think.
Working for you in Perry Township, Graham Hunter, RTV6.
Graham, thank you. The time right now is 6:39 rather. We're getting through the morning. So did you stay up late last night and watch the big game? We couldn't. No. I wish we could have, though, because if you didn't, we can tell you that the Indianapolis Colts pulled off a big road win on Sunday Night Football.
And the win means the Colts ended the unbeaten streak of the Kansas City Chiefs. The odds seem stacked against the Colts with 3 defensive players, including Darius Leonard, out for the game. That didn't stop the Colts from delivering a masterful defensive performance, holding the Chiefs' high-powered offense to just a touchdown and 2 field goals. The offense was able to do just enough, including 4 field goals from Adam Vinatieri. The final score, 19-13.
Okay, wow, what a great win. What we said in there in that locker room was the one emotion that we were not feeling was shock. I can't even explain it.
You know, it was awesome to be able to come out here and in a place like this against a team like that. Took a total team effort today.
The Colts now have a chance to get healthy with a bye week before returning to Lucas Oil Stadium to take on the Houston Texans.
At 6:40, as the impeachment investigation rolls on, members of Congress may now have someone else to talk to. Up next, another person claiming to have evidence against the president.
And it could mean faster speeds for cell phones, but there's pushback in Carmel as opponents say new towers could bring problems that outweigh the benefits. Alyssa.
We have a mild start today to a seasonable day on tap. Temperatures climb into the low 70s by the afternoon. A big cool down in the 7-day forecast, though. All of those details coming up next.
Get obsessed. Order online.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 6:42 on our Monday, and we're keeping a close eye on traffic. Here's a live look on the west side, I-465 near I-74. Lots of headlights out that way. Traffic looks to be moving along up to speed, both northbound and southbound. But we want to let you know that starting today, a Carmel intersection will be closed while crews turn this into the city's newest roundabout. Construction at the intersection of Main Street and Guilford Avenue is expected to last for 60 days. Crews will replace the traffic signal there with a roundabout. Well, more potential trouble for the White House. The impeachment investigation could now include a second whistleblower with knowledge of President Trump's attempt to have Ukraine investigate potential political rival.
The attorney representing the original whistleblower who started the investigation first told ABC News that he represents a second person who has direct information about Trump's phone call to Ukraine's president. Trump has repeatedly tried to discredit the first whistleblower for not having direct knowledge of that phone call. That person's complaint says they got the information from several officials. Today, the White House is still pushing back, even as Republicans struggle to defend the president.
The president asked China to investigate.
We know they're not, George. Come on.
Why can't you answer yes or no? Do you think it's appropriate?
I don't, because I don't think that's what he did. I don't think that's what he did.
So, but it was right there on camera.
I don't want to prejudge the evidence. Plus, not all the evidence is in yet.
This week is expected to be another busy one for the impeachment inquiry. Today, the State Department's George Kent is scheduled to be deposed. Kent works on policy in Ukraine, and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has tried to block him from testifying.
At 6:44 today marks the beginning of a new term for the U.S. Supreme Court. In this round, they do have a large docket ahead of them. The nation's highest court is set to hear cases involving abortion, immigration, the Second Amendment, and LGBTQ rights. Starting this week, justices will consider the first civil rights case considering transgender people. The upcoming cases will show the impact of Justice Brett Kavanaugh, a conservative who's taken over the seat of retired Justice Anthony Kennedy. Demonstrators gathered outside of the Supreme Court over the weekend to protest Justice Kavanaugh on the one-year anniversary of his confirmation. They held signs and demanded an investigation into sexual assault allegations into the newest justice. Protesters there later marched over to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's house, calling for his removal from office.
Economists are warning the ongoing General Motors strike could tip the state of Michigan into a recession. The strike by United Auto Workers began on September 16th. Patrick Anderson owns a consulting firm. He says the nearly 50,000 workers have lost $400 million in wages. Anderson says the economic impact of the strike, if it continues, could be severe.
We estimate that we've already lost about 2% of all of that earned income for the third quarter. In the fourth week, it's going to go over 2%. And basically at that time, you're moving to a red light flashing about essentially a one-state recession for southeastern Michigan.
On Sunday, UAW officials reported talks with General Motors had taken a turn for the worse. The union says GM had not made enough commitments to new products for U.S. plants. Almost 7,000 GM workers in Indiana are among those on strike.
A debate now over a new cell phone tower that could pop up in your neighborhood. It'll be discussed at tonight's Carmel City Council meeting. Wireless companies are installing small cell towers for 5G technology. Call 6 Investigates found there's a push to stop that from happening in Carmel. Last month, the president of the Carmel Cable and Telecommunications Commission sent a memo out to the city council highlighting a Health and Human Services study that found cell signals led to cancer in rats. Gail Thomas is one of the many residents who's concerned about those towers.
The idea is to just make sure that we're not taking this involuntary unknown risk and putting it right next to our bedrooms and our backyards and where we have our, get-togethers without knowing more information, without having the science be settled a little bit more.
Verizon directed us to CTIA. It's a group representing wireless communications industry. Their website says typical exposure to 5G is comparable to Bluetooth devices and baby monitors. Tonight's meeting starts at 6 o'clock at City Hall. Here at 6:47, it's our favorite part of the day, I would say.
Yes, and today we are going to visit Our Lady, Alyssa Donovan, and her dog of today, Tramp.
I'm going to step aside so you can see Tramp for all her beauty. That lady is a tramp. That I had to say it, right?
You know, you're the lady.
Oh, come on.
And then that's and tonight you'll share spaghetti to dinner.
Yes.
Spaghetti dinner together, right?
Exactly. Tonight's going to be a good night to maybe have that outside. Those temperatures will be into the low 70s by the evening. And then we are going to start out a little bit warm and muggy this morning, but that will clear out quickly by the noon hour. We're tracking just a few stray showers yet this morning. Just to the south of Seymour, moving along I-65, really closer to Louisville than anything else. And that's just lingering from that cold front that moved through yesterday. That brought us just about a quarter inch of rainfall, much needed rainfall. September was a very dry month, and we are starting to see a few more chances of showers as we head through the 7-day forecast as well. Not for a while, though. It's really towards the end of the forecast. High pressure is building in next. As that does, that's going to stick with us today, tomorrow, and into Wednesday. Most of Thursday as well. As that continues, we'll see those temperatures climb a little bit each day. Overnight, though, those lows will be close to average with those temperatures in the 40s. That's just because we don't have any cloud coverage overnight because of that clear air that high pressure is controlling. And then those daytime highs will climb quickly, though, because of that clear sky that we're going to see. So we'll see those temperatures up into the upper 70s by Thursday. Then by Thursday afternoon and evening, we turn to this low pressure system that's just out west along Montana. That will be impacting that area early this week. Tuesday and Wednesday, that area is under a winter storm warning as that system is building. That's going to continue to amplify as it approaches Indianapolis by Friday and into Saturday. Most likely we'll see most of the activity from that late Friday night and into Saturday morning. We have the potential of seeing quite a bit of rainfall with this system. It looks like there's a lot of moisture associated with it as it moves through, and also the potential of some strong storms. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that for you as it gets closer and let you know what we're expecting with that. That's going to move through Friday and into Saturday. Behind it, we also have some more changes when it comes to temperatures. We are going to see a cool air mass, the coolest of the season so far, move in. So Thursday and Friday, as that system approaches, we're staying warm into the upper 70s, and then we drop way off on Saturday, 58 degrees for our high. Keep in mind, as you step outside this morning, that's what it's going to be for our daytime high by Saturday. So huge change with those temperatures. Today, temperatures starting in the 50s, 70 degrees by the afternoon. A little bit cloudy this morning, and then we'll see that clear out later today. Mostly sunny skies. Tuesday and Wednesday looking the same. You can see those temperatures climbing us just a little bit each day into the upper 70s by Thursday and Friday. Friday night, that's when we'll see that shower and thunderstorm potential move into the area into Saturday. Saturday, 58 degrees for the high. Overnight lows in the 40s here, which means it's going to be even cooler to the north, likely in the 30s for our Sunday morning lows. 61 degrees for the high on Sunday.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. We have been monitoring the semi that flipped onto its side up in Carmel, US 31, the northbound right lane there. You can see it's still blocked here near Rangeline Road, but we do know that the good news is they have uprighted the semi truck in that area. Traffic can still get by in the left lane. Just move slowly through the area as we have a number of people out there on the highway working to clear this mess. We'll continue to keep you updated, but it looks like right now traffic isn't too backed up in Carmel, but it will keep you updated as we follow this more.
The Houston Rockets are trying to fight off controversy in China. The Rockets playing an exhibition game over there over the weekend after the team's general manager caused controversy on Twitter. It started when Daryl Morey tweeted support for the pro-democracy protesters who have been battling the Chinese government in Hong Kong. China took exception to the tweet. The Chinese Basketball Association and other Chinese businesses threatened to cut ties with the Rockets that date back to 2002 when the Rockets signed Chinese basketball legend Yao Ming. On Sunday, both the GM and the owner of the Rockets apologized for the controversy.
At 6:51, the St. Louis Cardinals were just 1 out away from taking the lead in the division series against the Atlanta Braves, but it wasn't meant to be. Dansby Swanson's double-off Cardinals closer Carlos Martinez tied the game. Then Adam Duvall came up with his second big hit of the series, a 2-run single that gave Atlanta the lead. The Braves would go on to win 3-1. They're now 1-1 away from wrapping up the series. Game 4 is in this afternoon in St. Louis.
The Washington Nationals were on the verge of another upset of the best team in the National League this season. They took an early lead, but the Dodgers erupted in the top of the 6th inning. Back-to-back doubles by Russell Martin and Kike Hernandez and a 3-run homer by Justin Turner led to the 7th 7 Dodgers runs, all coming out with 2 outs in the inning. The Dodgers go on to win 10-4. They lead the best-of-5 series 2-1 with a chance to wrap it up today.
Well, this is why you aren't supposed to run onto the field. Up next, a fan who had to learn his lesson a very hard and painful way. That's coming up.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Welcome back. We are monitoring that semi that overturned here in Carmel along US 31. The northbound right lane here still blocked as they work to clear that, although it is back on its wheels this morning. You can see traffic can get by in the left lane, but as you head through this area near Rangeline Road, it is moving a little bit slower at this hour. Once you get past this spot, everything is back moving up to speed. Well, as the old saying goes, this is why fans are supposed to stay in the stands and never, ever run into the field of play.
More often than not, it ends with the fan going to jail, and sometimes it can end painfully. Case in point, the University of Oregon on Saturday. That big cheer was for Oregon running back Cyrus Habibi-Likio making the tackle against the fan who thought it was a good idea to stroll onto the field during a third quarter timeout of Oregon's game against California. After the game, the running back said he hoped the guy wasn't hurt and that he kind of felt bad about hitting him so hard and that perhaps they could meet up for some ice cream to patch things up. But you know what? I don't blame him. In this day and age where people can be so unpredictable.
Oh, yeah. You just want to take him down.
Yeah, he was like, you know what?
Well, and he's all in game mode at that point.
Yeah,
I know.
You know?
I'm surprised he even knew that was just a random guy jogging on the field. There's so much going on there.
Like,
wow.
oh, maybe this is some athletic training intern or something like that. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Don't take the risk.
Yeah.
All right, Alyssa, speaking of going outside today and going to things, it's going to be a little bit cooler.
It's going to be a beautiful day to get outside. We're in the 50s this morning, low 70s this afternoon. You'll notice some cloud coverage this morning, but that will clear out later today. We'll see plenty of sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well. We're climbing into the upper 70s again, and then we are skyrocketing down 58 on Saturday.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Thanks for joining us. We're back in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America.